Okay, so are you ready to like jump back into Skeleton Crew?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Episode 3, let's do it.
Episode 3. All right, so I know I say this every time.
Yeah.
But this episode was like jam-packed
Yeah.
with like so many details, and it just leaves you like, okay, when's the next one?
Right.
So I'm excited to go through with you and talk about all the little things that we picked up on.
Yeah, definitely.
So for our listeners, this deep dive is all about kind of getting everybody on board and excited about the show.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you're like a huge Star Wars fan or you're kind of like new to it all,
Right.
we're going to try and explain it to, both sides
For sure.
so you can appreciate what this show is doing.
Yeah, I think this episode is especially interesting for both like the hardcore fans and people just coming in because it's got, like you were saying, so much packed into it. It's
Yeah.
got action. It's got, kind of some scary moments.
Yeah.
Funny moments.
And it's got some really deep cuts
Yeah.
for Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Some stuff that will really reward you if you've been following Star Wars for a long time.
Yeah. And, hopefully kind of like a little mystery that will keep people coming back
Right, exactly.
for more. So,
Yeah.
all right. So to set the scene a little bit.
Yeah.
We left off episode 2 with the kids being captured by pirates.
Right.
Which is never a good situation.
Never a good situation.
And episode 3 starts off and they're still with the pirates, but
yes.
then they get rescued by a mysterious Force user
Yes.
named Jod Na Nywood.
Yeah. Nawood.
I always get that name wrong.
Nawood is such a cool character.
Yeah.
I feel like we know so little about them,
I know, right?
but what we do see is like really intriguing.
But like, what's your take on Nywood?
I mean, they're so powerful, clearly using the Force to like manipulate technology in
Yeah.
a way that we haven't really seen so explicitly before.
It almost reminded me of like
Oh, yeah.
old Republic Jedi.
Yes, like ancient Jedi techniques. There are some deep cuts in the lore that talk about Jedi being able to like, manipulate machines with the Force.
Right.
And this is very much giving me those vibes.
Yeah. And they escape
They do.
and they get their ship back.
I get this ship back, which is great because those kids need a win.
I know. I was so happy for him.
Yeah, it's rough being, kind of on the run in space.
Yeah. And I think casual viewers should know, like, spaceships in Star Wars
Yes.
are like super important.
They are. They're iconic.
Like the Millennium Falcon.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, so getting their ship back is like a huge symbolic victory for them.
Yeah, and they also get their droid back. Which,
Oh, yes, SM-33.
SM-33. I love this little droid.
I know, SM-33 is so cool. And, droids are always a fan favorite in Star Wars.
Yes.
R2-D2, C-3PO, like
BB-8.
BB-8, exactly. And I think SM-33 is definitely shaping up to be, one of those memorable droids. I mean, they're not as like, outwardly expressive as some of those other droids, but they're super resourceful.
Yeah.
Their little scomp link comes in handy
Yeah.
a few times in this episode. And,
Oh, yeah.
they really help the kids get out of a tight spot.
Yeah, I love how scrappy they are.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the whole goal of this show, or at least like one of the main things driving the plot forward, is that the kids are trying to get home to their home planet,
Right.
which is called At-Aten.
At-Aten.
Now, At-Aten is no ordinary planet.
It is not.
I read in like some of the source material
Yeah.
that it's described as like a hidden jewel of the Old Republic.
A jewel of the Old Republic, yeah, which immediately makes you think like treasure.
Right.
Something super valuable.
Yeah. So what do you think that could mean?
Well, I think it could be a lot of things, right? It could be a planet that was like a center of learning or technology during the Old Republic.
Oh, so like a library planet.
Library planet. Yeah. Maybe they had like these incredible archives or, some kind of like ancient Jedi temple or something like that. And, the fact that it's hidden
Yeah.
raises even more questions.
Yeah. Why would you hide a jewel?
Exactly. Who's hiding it and why?
Yeah. And they mention that it's hidden behind like all this nebula gas,
Oh, yeah.
which I think for Star Wars fans, nebula are kind of like a
Yeah.
common trope.
They are. They're often used to conceal things.
Yeah, like important locations.
Yeah, like in the Clone Wars, there was that episode where Ahsoka had to navigate through a nebula
Yeah.
to find a hidden separatist base.
Yeah, and in Rebels, they used nebulae to hide their fleet.
Exactly. So it's not unheard of,
Right.
but I think in this case, it could be hinting at something even more significant.
Yeah, like maybe Aten's being protected.
Protected. Yeah, maybe that's why it's hidden,
Yeah.
because it's so valuable.
And speaking of being protected, the kids also have a run-in with the New Republic in this episode.
Oh, yes, the New Republic.
Which is interesting because the New Republic are supposed to be like
Right.
the good guys.
Yeah, they're the ones who defeated the Empire.
Yeah. But they're not exactly friendly to the kids.
No, they're definitely suspicious of them.
Yeah. What do you think is going on there?
Well, I think it shows that the New Republic is still, like, figuring things out. I mean,
Yeah.
they just came out of a huge war.
Right.
They're trying to rebuild the galaxy,
Yeah.
and they're probably wary of anything that could disrupt the peace.
Okay, yeah, I guess like a group of kids running around with a mysterious Force user could seem a little bit
Yeah.
suspicious.
Especially since we don't know Nawood's motives yet.
Right, exactly.
Like, are they with the kids? Are they using the kids? We
Fair.
don't know.
It's a good mystery.
It is a good mystery.
So, the kids, they managed to escape the New Republic with the help of like this really cool new character.
Oh, yes.
I love this character.
I know.
Yeah,
They're so cool.
like this owl-like creature.
I know.
And they give the kids this crucial information
They do.
about how to find Aten.
Right.
So tell me, what do we know about Calm? Like, what species is this?
That's a great question. And honestly, we don't know a whole lot yet.
Okay.
I mean, visually, they're striking, right?
Yeah.
They've got these big owl-like eyes,
Yeah.
and they kind of move in this, like, almost ethereal way.
Yeah, and their voice is super cool.
Yeah, very, like,
It's
otherworldly.
serious.
Yeah, and you know the way they talk about Aten?
Yeah.
It almost feels like they have some kind of personal connection to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to learn more about them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, I was reading some of the other material about the episode,
Yeah.
and it was interesting because they talked about how the kids' relationships with each other are kind of
Oh, yeah.
evolving.
Definitely.
And I noticed that, especially with Fern, like,
Yeah.
Fern is very skeptical of Nawood.
Right.
What do you think that tells us about Fern's character?
Well, I think it shows that Fern is really thoughtful.
Okay.
They're not just going to trust someone blindly, even if
No.
that person is powerful and, seems to be helping them.
Yeah.
They're going to question things.
Right.
And I think that's a really important quality, especially in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, I think that's like a good lesson for everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't just follow blindly.
Yeah.
Ask questions, be skeptical.
Yeah. So, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
And this episode really does leave us with a lot more questions than answers.
It does.
We've got this mysterious Force user,
Right.
this hidden planet with a fascinating history,
Mm-hmm.
and these kids who are like just trying to find their way home.
Trying to get home.
So, expert, any final thoughts about what makes this episode so compelling?
I think for me, it's the sense of wonder and discovery. We're exploring this new corner of the Star Wars galaxy. We're
Yeah.
meeting these new characters.
Yeah.
And we're learning about... Feels very, fresh and exciting.
Yeah, it does feel like a new era of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
So for all of you listening out there, we want to know, what are you most curious about after this deep dive?
Yeah, are you intrigued by Nawood?
Yeah.
Are you excited to learn more about Aten?
Yeah. Do you want to see more of Ip?
Right?
Let us know. And if Aten is this valuable jewel of the Old Republic, could there be others out there?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What other secrets might this show reveal?
I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.